wedding was simple, but the joy that filled the air was undeniable. The villagers gathered to celebrate, and even Anna and Clara, who had once mocked Lily for waiting for Ethan, attended. They had grown older, but their dreams of wealth had never come true. They watched as Ethan and Lily exchanged vows, both knowing that their future was different now. They were no longer the same people they had been 3 years ago. After the ceremony, Ethan took Lily by the hand, leading her to their new life together. He had prepared a small house for them in the town where he worked. It was simple, but comfortable, a place where they could start their life together without worry. Gregory, too, was given a comfortable home near Ethan's blacksmith shop. He spent his remaining years in peace, knowing that his daughters were cared for. Anna and Clara, on the other hand, eventually left, each seeking her fortune elsewhere. They were no longer interested in living in the small village or staying with their father. Ethan and Lily remained. They worked hard, but they never forgot the importance of kindness, humility, and love. Together, they built a life, supporting one another through whatever challenges came their way. And as the years passed, they became known for their generosity, always willing to help those in need, just as Ethan had once helped them. After the wedding, life in the town settled into a comfortable rhythm for Ethan and Lily. The days were spent working hard. Ethan in his blacksmith shop, crafting tools, horseshoes, and repairing what needed to be fixed, while Lily kept their small home neat and tidy and looked after Gregory, who was growing frailer with each passing year. Their love had only grown stronger since the day they wed. Every night, they shared a quiet dinner, and every morning, Ethan kissed Lily goodbye before heading to the shop. There was a peace in their lives now, something Ethan had never thought possible. The hardships of his past, the lonely roads he had walked, the battles he had fought, seemed so far away now. But things were not always perfect. Though their life together was mostly peaceful, there were moments when the past would creep back in. Anna and Clara, the two sisters who had once mocked Lily for her faith in Ethan's return, could not fully accept the changes in their lives. One evening, while Ethan was at the blacksmith shop, Anna and Clara returned to the village. They had been gone for some time, searching for opportunities in the larger cities, but they had not found the fortune they had hoped for. Anna, in particular, was angry. She was not used to being overlooked, and she resented Lily for getting the life she had always dreamed of. The two sisters visited Gregory's cabin, now occupied by Lily and Ethan, with an air of entitlement. They didn't acknowledge Lily's hard work or the sacrifices she had made. Instead, They looked at the comfortable home they now had with bitterness. "Lily," Anna said, her voice sharp, "you always were the one to get everything you wanted. Now, you've got your soldier, your blacksmith, your perfect little life. It's not fair." Lily tried to remain calm, but her sister's words stung. She had worked so hard, loved so deeply, and waited with patience. All she had ever wanted was happiness for her family. "You don't know what it was like for me," Lily replied quietly. "You left, and I stayed. I didn't have a choice, and neither of you helped." Anna sneered, turning away. "Maybe if you'd been more like us, you could have gotten out of here too." Clara remained silent for a long moment, her eyes watching her sisters bicker. There was a certain sadness in her eyes now, perhaps regret, or perhaps jealousy, but it was not something she could show easily. She had always been more focused on beauty than anything else. But even she couldn't deny the changes Ethan had made for Lily and her family. When Ethan returned that evening, he immediately noticed the tension in the air. Gregory was sitting quietly by the fire, his hands trembling, while Anna and Clara stood near the door, still making their way through the bitter exchange. Lily's face had grown pale, and Ethan could see that his wife was upset. He stepped forward, his strong presence filling the room. "Lily, what happened?" Ethan asked gently, placing his hand on her shoulder. Lily took a deep breath and explained everything, telling him how her sisters had come back to the village, filled with resentment. Ethan nodded, his jaw tightening. "I know," he said. "I know it's hard for them to accept. They always thought there was something better out there, but they never realized what they had right in front of them." Anna and Clara, standing in the background, exchanged uneasy glances. They both knew Ethan was right. They had once dreamed of wealth and luxury, but those dreams had not turned out the way they had hoped. They had come back, empty-handed, still carrying their pride, but with little to show for it. Ethan turned to them with a calm but firm expression. "I know you don't understand it, Anna, but I love Lily. She's my heart. She's the one who believed in me when I had nothing, when I was just a soldier wandering the roads." Anna flinched at his words. She had never believed in Ethan, had only seen him as a poor man with no future. But now, standing before him, she realized how wrong she had been. Clara, the quieter of the two, spoke up softly. Maybe we misunderstood." Ethan gave a small nod. "Maybe you did, but it's too late now to change the past. The future is what matters." The years went by, and Ethan's life became even more intertwined with Lily's. They had their challenges, of course, Gregory's health continued to decline, and he spent more and more time resting, his energy dwindling. But in the quiet moments, he would sit with Lily and Ethan, offering advice and love, knowing that his daughters were in good hands. Anna and Clara, too, began to shift. Though they left the village to seek their fortunes elsewhere, they never returned with the wealth they had once dreamed of. They came to understand in their own way that wealth and luxury weren't everything. Life was more than just material possessions. It was about love, family, and kindness, things they had failed to see when they had been so focused on their own desires. Lily and Ethan, meanwhile, continued to thrive. They had children of their own now, and their small family grew with joy. They built a home together, a beautiful house near the smithy, where Ethan could work in peace while still being close to his family. Each evening, after dinner, they would sit by the fire, and Gregory, though frail, would tell stories of the old days, of how he had met Lily's mother, of the times he had worked hard to support his family, and of how proud he was of his daughters. His voice would soften as he spoke of how Ethan had come into their lives, turning their world around. "I've seen a lot in my years," Gregory would say, his voice filled with love. "But what you two have built together, it's something special. I couldn't have asked for a better man to look after my daughters." Ethan would smile at his father-in-law, and Lily would take his hand, feeling her heart swell with gratitude. They had everything they needed, each other. Lily and Ethan's life was not one of grand celebrations or constant excitement, but it was rich with love, care, and understanding. They knew the value of hard work and humility. They knew what it meant to keep promises, and more importantly, to keep the people you loved close. As the years passed, the village saw many changes. Some old families left, others arrived, and life moved forward, as it always did. But for Ethan, Lily, and their children, it was enough. They had found peace in each other, in their simple but full life. They became known in the village for their generosity. Whenever anyone needed help, whether it was fixing a broken cart, building a house, or simply lending a hand, Ethan and Lily were there. They continued the legacy of kindness and hard work that had begun when Ethan had first arrived. A soldier with nothing but his promise. Their story, though simple, was one of great beauty. It was a reminder that the most important things in life are not things at all. They are the people you love, the promises you keep, and the peace you find when you build something meaningful together. And so, they lived, happy and content, in the village that had once seemed so small, but was now the place where their hearts had found a home.